I'm going to keep asking the question, what is it with South Africans and their aversion to station wagons? Okay, bearing in mind, this is an RS6 Avant, so a little bit different, but the principle still remains. They're comfortable, they're practical, and I think very good looking, especially this one. But it seems that my motoring colleagues and I are sort of on our own when it comes to station wagons, which is a real shame. But do you know what? When it comes to an RS6, I think everybody can agree that there's almost nothing better. If you ask me what my dream car is, it's probably this. And if there's only one thing I have to change, it would be these beautiful low-inch tires, because 22 inches, let me tell you, there's no margin for error. But the reason I mention them is because it's pretty much the only thing that is updated to the exterior of this updated RS6 Avant Performance model. That, and there are two new colors, a silver and a blue. But let's get inside and see what's new in there. Okay, so not much has changed in here, but I think my favorite thing is the design package that now comes in blue. You'll usually see it with red or grey, which is what we've got in here now as the red. I'm a bit bummed that I don't have the blue, with all the stitching and details, even on the steering wheel, which is really, really striking. But speaking of the steering wheel, now this isn't really exclusive to Audi and not even certainly to the RS, but Alcantara. Now, it just gives me the thrills. I know it's better for grip and everything, but it just means that it's an absorbent material, which means the sweat when you're on a track probably is going into the material. So my advice here, please clean it and maintain it properly. Otherwise, it's going to start getting a bit, gross central in here. But I digress. Okay, there are other things that are slightly different. There are RS LEDs in the doors that project onto the floor, which look very cool, always. Also, the Audi Virtual Cockpit Plus has a few extra sort of add-ons to it. But overall, it's still the very familiar RS Audi interior in here. Greatly set out for a driver. Everything is sort of intuitive and easy to use. But one of the things that I love about an RS is the practicality. So I'm going to hop into the back and show you what I'm talking about. I just took this car away for the weekend and there were 3 adults in here, and I can now confidently say that it is the perfect all-rounder. It's a weekend getaway, it's an everyday drive. The reason being, everybody was comfortable. As you can see, there's more than enough legroom. Okay, I'm behind myself, but the seat has moved back ever so slightly. So actually, I'm not even completely behind myself, but more than enough legroom and headroom. The boot is 565 litres, people. Do you know how happy that makes me? But it meant that we could put 3 carry-on bags in there, a whole bunch of food, not wine, obviously, and all sorts of little odds and ends, and still have enough space for everybody in this interior. It is just such a lovely car. I would happily have this every day. But I'm not really here to talk about the practical side of this car, right? Or even the aesthetic updates, which is probably what I should be talking about. I'm here to talk about... Yep, this is the most powerful and fastest RS6 to date. In mid-23, it had the update with the RS7. It's been tweaked for your performance pleasure. Yep, this 4-litre twin-turbo V8 petrol engine now has 463 kilowatts of power and 850 newton meters of torque. That's like 22 kilowatts and about 50 newton meters more than the outgoing model. And you're going to get to 100 kilometers per hour in, well, just 3.4 seconds. You can feel it. I wish that I could do a launch control for you right now, but I'm on a mountain pass and I'm thinking it might be a little bit irresponsible. You know, we're all about responsibility here at Ignition, but just believe me when I tell you that this car has all the feels. It has an 8-speed Tiptronic transmission that powers that all-wheel drive quattro system, and the shifts are faster too.
Audi says a lighter and more compact self-locking center differential is also included in the deal. This is said to result in more precise cornering and less understeer at the limit. Under normal circumstances, it sends 60% of the torque to the rear axle, but if needed, it can direct up to 85% to the rear or even 70% to the front.
What I'm trying to say is that this car is not just for a petrol head or an experienced driver, or experienced track driver for that matter. I think that this car is for the everyday driver, the person who might require the car to give you that confidence. It sort of can upskill any driver because it really just has all the grip. It's weighted in the right places. And oh my goodness, you can just do with it what you want, in a way, and you're going to be fine. Yep, this is probably the most fun that you can have at a station wagon. In fact, in any car. It just remains one of the best all-rounders on the market. You're looking at about 2.3 million rand for this. Now, would I take it over its rivals, such as, the BMW M5 Competition or Mercedes AMG E63S? Without a shadow of a doubt. It's comfortable, it's better priced, it's more practical, and it's sort of an everyday car without losing that complete exhilaration.